All right. Well, I want to be respectful of everyone's time. So we're going to go ahead and get things started. You're here for the webinar, which is called Does Your Virtual Tour Do That? 12 features to stand out from your competition. My name is Anya Christianten, and I'm going to be your host today. So my background is in new home sales. I started off in the industry in 2013, and then I got into new home marketing, and I've always had passion for technology. So I've been with Inugo for almost a year now. I love every minute of it. And if you're not familiar with Inugo, at Inugo, we help home builders to meet their prospects online. And we do that by providing great visualization tools, interactive online tools, as well as ability to purchase homes online with Buy Now. And joining me today is Stephen Chan, who is the president of Inugo, and Jessica Staten, who is a virtual tour project manager at Inugo. So some of the videos that you're going to see today, Jessica probably had her hand in that. So why don't you guys give us a little bit of an introduction of who you are so that our audience can get to know you a little bit. Stephen, why don't we start with you?
Sure. I've been with Inugo for over 20 years now. I've been one of the probably one of the founders of the company. I've been creating a lot of different products for our company. So renderings, videos, virtual tours. We've been making strides and just improving those products.
Great. And actually, you guys, a fun little fact. So I had an opportunity to interview Stephen probably 2 years ago for Tech Home Builder, and it was a similar topic about virtual tours. And I was like, what can be so great about virtual tours? What are we going to talk about? And after our conversation, my mind was like, whoa, there's so much more to virtual tour than just what most people think of a virtual tour. So we'll get into that today. And Jessica, why don't you introduce yourself as well?
Hi, my name's Jessica. I've been with Rendering House for about 8 years. I am a project manager under Stephen in the virtual tours department. I help lead and guide the team with any problems that they have and push them to make a better project.
Yeah, Jessica is a rock star, and she's extremely knowledgeable about architecture, interior design. If you have virtual tours from us already, you probably already worked directly with her. She's a great eye for details, and she never missed her deadlines. And she's available now.
All right. A plug for Jessica. Very good. All right. So what we are hoping to accomplish today is to show you how a great virtual tour can accomplish these 4 things. So I really try to go with with the theme of the tour. So 1, transparency. Now more than ever, when the market is rocky, your buyers are looking for assurance. They want to feel that they're making the right decision when they're purchasing a home. So the more transparency you can provide to your buyers, the more certainty you're going to give them, and that's going to allow them to feel like it's easier for them to move forward with their purchase. So removing that risk, and virtual tours can do that. Another great thing about virtual tours is that it gives somebody a feeling of ownership. So when you are actively participating in a virtual tour, you're navigating the virtual tour, you're selecting options within a virtual tour, it creates this endowment effect, which is basically when you take ownership of the product before it's yours. So this is the same reason why software companies give us free trials, because once you start using the product, it's very difficult to give that up after. So it works off the psychology there. U is for telling your story. So there's really a lot of opportunity for you to shine as a home builder and tell your story in a way that's relevant to your buyers. How do you stand apart from the guy next door? So a lot of virtual tour features that we're going to discuss today will allow you to tell your story to your home buyers. And the last one, R, is remarkable. So why make it a boring virtual tour where you can make it fun and exciting and gamify it? And so some of the virtual tours we're going to show you today will definitely showcase that. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And as I mentioned, please don't feel like you need to wait until the end. Go ahead and type in questions as we review the 12 features of virtual tours. So first thing we're going to talk about is video. So I know video is not a virtual tour, but it's a byproduct of it. So Stephen, can you talk to us a little bit more about the video? What's the difference between virtual tour and a video?
Right. So we all watch videos. Obviously, we are now streaming. We all watch TV. We watch a lot of videos, even on our phone, on Facebook, on Instagram. We spend a lot of time just watching the next video. So we all know what videos are. So obviously, in videos, you don't control anything. You just watch passively. In the virtual tour, you or the home buyer gets to walk around and look and choose where you want to go. So that's the main difference. One is the video is very, I don't want to say passive, but all you got to do is press play and you just watch. And the videos really is important. Even though we are going to talk about virtual tours quite a bit, the videos they're not going away. They are the ones that are going to really capture someone's attention to go into the website or go to the virtual tour. I really think there are a lot of videos, and we use videos as a way to be almost like movie trailers. You know, if you have a dozen virtual tours, how do you know which one to go into, like which house to go into? So having a quick 30-second, 1-minute videos, and they say, wow, this is the home I like what I see. I'm gonna go in and explore. So videos are really important things. If you order a virtual tour, you should order a video also.
So Stephen, when we think about it, I think most people, when they think video, they think it's actually somebody with a camera shot that video in the house, where in this case, this video is a byproduct of a virtual tour. Is that right? Yeah, so with what we do, our process is to create the entire scene in 3D. So once everything you're seeing on this video here is obviously computer generated. Maybe it's not obvious, but it's computer generated. So once we have that, we can take snapshots. So we call those renderings, or we can create videos. We have virtual cameras. We can place them in, or we can take panorama images of the room and create virtual tours. So the key is to build this scene in 3D, fully furnished, fully textured. The lighting is important. And I know, Jessica, maybe you can talk about what goes into making a video.
Well, creating the animations or video, it's really more about, it allows us to use lighting and camera paths to invoke certain emotions that we may want the customer to feel when they're looking throughout the house. We can start the video from anywhere and pan around places to see views that you would not normally be able to see if you were just walking throughout the house. And it allows us to create a better storyline so that people can get a glimpse of what that house could be or would be if they were living or buying that house. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I love the idea of using videos for social media campaigns. So again, to catch somebody's attention, and then once they come to your website, then they know, okay, I already like what I saw, so let me go ahead and actually jump in and do the virtual tour now. So this one that we're showing right now is a lifestyle video. Again, it's instead of just showing the home, many people choose to buy a home, new construction, specifically for the amenities that it offers. So showing the lifestyle is very important. It's no longer just the location any longer. It's really all about the amenities and the lifestyle that the community can offer. So transform them into what it's going to look like at the end of the day. I know Shea Homes in Arizona, they sell a ton of really high-end homes using similar technology, showcasing the amenities before the amenities are finished, selling out the entire communities.
Yeah, so we actually do a lot of these for a lot of builders whenever they have new neighborhoods. I think in the old days, builders would have a rendering of a clubhouse, maybe a swimming pool. They may have a site plan that's trying to communicate what they're offering in terms of amenities. But like I said, nothing beats watching a video. That's what we do, right? We watch videos. So this really resonates with all of us. We want to watch it. And we get to tell a lot of good stories about the amenities, the swimming pool, the pickleball courts. And we're actually making a lot of strides in making these videos even better. We're going to have people actually playing pickleballs. We're going to have people actually, in dog parks with the dogs. So that's something we're going to be excited. We're excited to show that probably in the future.
Yeah, so certainly beats watching a community video of dumpsters and porta potties. I can tell you that much.
Yeah.
And if you're just joining us now, I wanted to let you know that at the end of today's webinar, we're going to be giving away a ticket to Jeff Shore's Leadership Summit, which is going to be in Austin, July 21st, 22nd. So I want you to think of a good reason why you want to come with us, with Team Inugo as our guest to Austin. And then at the end, I'm going to ask you, and we're going to pick our winner. So, all right, moving on to virtual tour feature number 1, which is to show or to hide furniture in a home.
All right, well, this is actually, I believe, we are the first company that offers this. So if I have a little bragging right, I'm going to just,
Definitely the bragging rights. We're all about the bragging rights over here.
But I really feel like this has a big wow factor. It's really magical, where you can see the rooms and see the house with or without furniture with a simple click. I think that you can see how it's furnished, the orientation, the scale, but also just really see how big the house or the rooms really are without the furniture. And I think if you're in a townhomes where maybe it's a little bit smaller, it really shows how spacious the space can be or is. Sometimes we have all these, obviously, like the furniture, the sofas, all there, and you think, oh, it looks small, but you can decorate how you like it. And as you enter the tour, you select when you want to show the furniture or hide the furniture. So this is one of our very popular add-ons to our virtual tours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, they say not to show a house empty, right? Most people don't have the imagination to see what it could be, what it looks like. And obviously, when it comes to selecting furniture, it's really important to make sure you get the furniture right. So Stephen, can you talk a little bit about the process of picking furniture out? Like how do we do that?
Yeah, I'm going to let Jessica talk a bit more, but I know we spent a lot of time creating libraries and catalogs. So Jessica, why don't you kind of tell everyone how it goes?
We do have a very extensive library of 3D models. I'll either ask the client what type of style they would like, whether it's modern, traditional, coastal, mid-century, and I'll work back and forth with the client to either pick out the furniture a la carte. But we also have room sets that make it very easy for clients to quickly pick based off of the style that they want, whether it's modern or traditional, and we can quickly put those into the rooms, maybe swap out a chair here or two, but very simple, just to put it all in there, and then you can get an idea of what it looks like within the rooms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great. So I definitely prefer the furniture look. So how about you guys? Looks a lot better, right? All right, so next one, which is probably my favorite feature, is to show options. I let you guys talk about this, but I have a lot to say about this one as a former sales rep.
Yeah, I think this is, a showstopper. We just added this in the past year or so. Builders, you want to add and offer upgrades and options. And right now, buyers are trying to understand that with floor plans. They're trying to see, and sometimes when you click on the floor plans, it's interactive and you see the floor plan change. But it's really hard to imagine what the upgrade really looks like or what impact it has. So, like for example, here you see a barn door is added, and you see, okay, wow, that's what it's going to look like in this room. And even here with the tray ceiling, with or without it, you can toggle on and off and see that. So I think this is really an important feature to add on if you're going to offer a virtual tour.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I think that as a sales rep, in my career, I wish I had this because I would have sold a lot more homes. I can tell you that much. Most people just don't have the imagination to say like, oh, even that hood vent, like, what does that look like? Or what does that option look like? So if you can show them, again, it's seen as believing, right? So it all comes down to that.
Exactly. Yes. I 100% agree with that.
And
If I was to given a list of all the different room options for the particular house, I would definitely want to be able to see them within the room to see if I can envision myself actually using it. Is it worth my buy? Is it not worth my buy? And that type of deal.
Yes. So this could be a great application, obviously, for a buyer to play on their own, but also in the model when you're meeting your buyers and you're walking through the model home and showing different options. It's like, okay, well, you can just have your laptop or your iPad open and show them what that looks like as a different option. So again, it's all about building that trust with your buyer. And when you can actually show them what that looks like, so their expectations meet the reality, it's a win-win for everybody.
Mm.
Jared said, me being a visual person, this feature is fantastic. I agree with you. Love this feature. Model homes only, show home one way. Yes. So absolutely. And with the virtual tours, like why build it one way when you can have it every way, right? So I absolutely love that one. All right. So similar feature to showing options is the interior color schemes. So who wants to talk about this?
So this is something that a lot of builders have asked us to do. And they really want the ability to walk around and show different interior schemes. So I think this is really a big deal. Now, what we've been trying to chase down is the unicorn, or find that holy grail where you can actually walk around and change just the cabinet and just change just the countertop or the backsplash. And that's something we're working on. We have some prototypes, but it's not quite ready to show you all. And we're also trying to explore just another platform where it's really made for gamers, or in this sort of gamer platform, first person walking around. I'm not quite sure if I would want that or use that, but I'm sure the next generation of home buyers would be perfectly acclimated to walk around like in a video game, right? You're walking around, and this is where I really feel like that's going to really resonate with the future home buyers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Stephen, and I know we have the interior color scheme tool where you can select just the cabinets or just the countertops, but this obviously adds a whole other level to it where you're essentially interacting with it, right? You can see it from every angle. Again, goes back to being able to visualize the option that you're interested in. And, we see one of the most beautiful things about allowing your consumers to see options ahead of time, and especially if you provide pricing to go along with the options ahead of time, is that most of them spend about 8 hours playing with this before they ever meet with the designer. So when they're coming in to see the designer, they feel much more prepared for that meeting, and they're actually ready to make those decisions instead of, deer in the headlights, like, oh my goodness, it's the first time I'm seeing this. It's the first time I'm seeing pricing. And I have so much pressure now to finalize all my options within the next hour. And then again, also as a marketing tool, this is fantastic because again, it goes back to that endowment effect. Now I've built the home of my dreams. I created my perfect vision. So again, it becomes much more difficult for me to give it up, even though it's just a virtual home. So
I do want to add that, we talk about the Holy Grail, and that's what we want to do. And I think that's where we want to head to. But with the current sort of climate with supply chain challenges, a lot of builders are actually scaling back and do schemes or do packages, styles, so that they really want to reduce their inventory of supplies. They want to simplify the choices a bit. Otherwise, it's really hard to manage all the different products, the options, availability. So schemes actually makes a lot of sense right now to a lot of builders trying to offer the visualization of different styles and packages to the buyers.
Absolutely. And if you don't offer the packages, you can always offer like the most popular features to show. Again, it all goes back to just them picturing themselves in this home. Jared's asked question, do you adjust these options based on what the builder offers for finishes? And the answer is yes. So we would match it to your specific offerings.
Yeah, Jessica, you want to elaborate on that, how that works?
Sure. We will normally get a list from the builder based off of each scheme. Either it'll be 1 to 4 different schemes. This particular builder, they had 4 schemes, and we go and we create the texture. We make sure that it's as lifelike as possible. You know, we put in the different maps, make sure it actually looks like wood flooring or it actually looks like tile. And we'll put it into our model and render it out and cut out the pieces and piece them together to create these different schemes. So when you click the button, it's actually changing in real time all of the different options so that you can see it.
So we actually look up the manufacturer and the product information. We make sure the scale is correct. We're representing the right product. Then we create those products, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, realism is very, very important, because if your buyers don't trust what they see on a virtual tour, then it's kind of pointless. So I remember one of the biggest takeaways from my earlier discussion with you, Stephen, was the realism is that, you know, and a lot of builders are now say they're building the model home and then they're creating the replica of that model in a virtual tour. And the reason why they're doing that is that as a consumer, when they watch the virtual tour at home and then they come into your model home and it's like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I saw online. Now I'm a believer and I trust that the next model that you're going to show me that's absolutely virtual will actually match what I will get when my home is built. So I think Mike Moore was the one who came up with that idea of building the identical twin of your model home. And I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, we walk around with digital blue tapes and we find all the problems.
There you go. Digital blue tapes everywhere. All right, so this next one is a product information. So as I mentioned, this is as much of an opportunity to, well, let's see if my video is gonna go. Let's see.
There you go.
Hopefully, well, I don't know if it's not, hopefully it's gonna.
Lagging a little bit.
Lagging, yeah. So hopefully it's gonna, oh, there you go. Okay. So this one is basically an opportunity to educate your buyers, again, on options or on the products that you use in the home. This is an opportunity to tell your story as a builder. So you have these hotspots built into the home. So when they press on certain hotspot, it pops up information about, oh, this is an upgraded feature, or, you know, these cabinets are whatever, whoever's the manufacturer of these cabinets. So again, it gives you an opportunity to tell a story about your homes and the types of products that you use, especially if your homes are more expensive than the homes down the street. You know, oftentimes consumers come in, they ask, well, why is your home so much more expensive? Well, this is why, because we use premium products. And the best part is that manufacturers oftentimes will already have a lot of this information available to you. So it's just incorporating this into a virtual tour. So do you guys want to talk a little bit more about this?
Yeah, I really believe this is, if it's not already common, this is going to be more and more common in virtual tours. Right now, most builders are creating virtual tours, and even just like Matterport. And the experience for the buyer is just looking and walking around, right? You look and you walk. And for us, we understand that's, I mean, even like watching a movie, we want to re-watch it, or when you play a video game, there's a replay value. So we want to really give the virtual tours a lot of depth. And I think learning and being entertained is really where virtual tours will go to. But learning for sure, like learning about your product, learning why, you know, this house is special and why this product is special or unique. We're in the process of building a virtual tour for a client where they're actually going to have, it's going to be pretty amazing. I can't believe it, but a car lift. So in the garage, so you can park 2 cars in one space. You know,
Wow.
you want to tell people about that, because that's not a common product, right, that you built into your house. But yeah, so there are a lot of unique features. I mean, the Nest, the Ring, these are almost everywhere now, right? Ubiquitous, but there are going to be a lot of unique things that is really you're providing cutting edge products to your home buyers.
Yeah, I really think this is one of the ways that builders are going to want to go. Really getting their brand out there, what type of products, bragging rights, like Steven said, saying, hey, my stuff is really good, and here, I want to showcase it for you. So I think it's going to become very important.
Yeah, and again, I think the takeaway is that virtual tours needs to be much more than just walking and looking around. It needs to, we need to create something where buyers want to come back and say, let me go back to the virtual tour. Let me see something. Let me study it a little bit more. Otherwise we don't want to create one and dones, right? You want to go back and say, wow, that is something I want to consider. So all these options that we talk about, color schemes, show high furniture, room options, all those things continue to engage the home buyer as they can come back to the tour.
Yes, absolutely. All right, moving on to the next one is showing a video on TV in a virtual tour. That's like the virtual tour and the virtual tour. A matrix.
Yeah. Well, having a video on the TV, it's kind of like having a TV at your sales center or your model homes. You may show your brand across the TV, but it really enforces who the builder is, what your brand is. So putting them in the virtual tour, the buyers can watch, they can learn even more about the building process, maybe community amenities, some features, and maybe even some other buyers' testimonies. We can stick that right on the TV and they can press play.
Yeah, I mean, when you go to a sales center, a design center, obviously there's a TV on, and this is the same concept, right? When you go to the design center, they're continuously branding the builder. So why not, when you go to a virtual tour, you're doing the same thing. Now, when you click on this TV, it actually plays the video in full screen. So we don't see that in this example here, but that's what it does.
Very cool. So again, another opportunity to tell your story and reinforce the brand. All right, so next one is the exterior walk around. So it's not just walking in the house, but walking outside the home. In this case, I decided to use the example of a multifamily building, so you can see multiple points of entry, terraces, and you can kind of explore around, hop the fences. Check it out. Check out what's available. I think this is especially great for somebody who is not from the area necessarily too. You can kind of see what is around me too.
Right. So, most people think about virtual tours, and most people who come to us and say, I want a virtual tour, and they're thinking about the inside. They really are thinking about, I want to show the inside. But we actually take a step outside and say, hey, we would like you to consider including the outside of the home, because that's really the first impression, right? You want to say, hey, I'm interested in this plan, and you get the exterior rendering, but really entering, before you go inside, you're outside. So with the exterior walk around, we can create the outside of the house, and then that allows you to walk around, but also walk into the house from any entries. Garage door, rear patios, lanais, whatever you have that naturally allows you to have egress, you can go in and out. It gives really more of a natural flow as you explore the house, because sometimes you kind of like opening doors and see what happens when I go this way or go this way. So the exterior walk around is also very popular.
Jessica, anything else to add to this one?
I do really like how the exterior walk around can help you see how the house is immersed into the environment or into that neighborhood. You can see your backyard, your space. Yeah, because with just seeing the interior, you may not see like how close the next house really is, or how big your backyard could be or would be. depending on the location of that particular neighborhood. But I think it adds a lot of value.
Yeah, we can create the exterior walkarounds as if the home is on a generic standalone lot, or we can actually create a streetscape where it has real defined property lines. So the next, this one is actually where we're going to, where once we have one house, or if we have multiple homes for virtual tours, we can actually put them all in the streetscape. And in this example, we actually put, this is actually a real street or particular street with specific house plans, elevations, color schemes. So, you know, when we create this, we said to the builder, hey, this is a lot like, you know, in the old days where you have a row of model homes. You know, you go into one and then you may go to the other. They may have different products or just different plans. And this was the concept, right? You can have like 6 different plans, right, in this sort of one little part of the neighborhood. And this is a project, we can't wait to go see it live and really compare it how it's built after it's built. This is a project that's nearby here. So we're looking forward to do that.
Very cool. Yeah, it's again, I think it's a great idea. This is like your salesperson 24/7, right? You don't just want to see the home itself, but you want to see the entire community. And like Jessica said, proximity to other homes, so important. So yeah, you can go in all of the models that you have. All right, so the next one is the aerial view.
This also helps you see the street view of your homes. You can show buyers just several buildings that you're looking at from a bird's eye view. So it also gives you that kind of perspective of how your house is going to lay out into the neighborhood, and get a feel for how close you need to be to your neighbors, or how friendly you know you're going to be with everybody, and how it all lays out, which lot you may want. And this particular project was built based off of their lot plan. So this is exactly how the neighborhood will be, which was really exciting to build it from the models.
Yeah, and we can show amenities, right? Dog parks, trails, you know, swimming pools next to these homes. So that's what we have an aerial view, because in a street view, which is a natural view, however, you don't get a sense of what's around the corner or down the street. In the area, in an aerial view, this gives you that sort of wide lens look at, you know, what's around. So this was pretty unique for townhomes for this project.
Mm-hmm. All right, next one. Oh, this is one of my favorites. So you guys, I removed the sound from all of these virtual tours because typically we have like music or something to go around with this. This one was seagulls chirping, or I guess, I don't know if they're chirping, what are they? Seagulls going, and the ocean waves and seagulls. This was the background noise. I was like, maybe I should keep it. It was so good. It was like amazing. I mean, it just transforms you into this space. But this one shows you how we can change the time of the day. So when you start the virtual tour, say you go inside the home and it's a daytime, and you come out, and now it's you know, the sunset and turning, so you can see what the community is going to look like 24/7 almost here.
This was a very fun project to work on. This is located in New Jersey, off of the Jersey Shore. And the client really wanted his tour to pop out. He was interested in the music and the live piano. And it was really fun to create. We created just a basic, you know, the houses and streets or whatever, but we wanted to make sure that we captured that beach feel, so that we could see it morning, noon, and night, and definitely dusk. And I believe it added a lot of value. People can really see what it'll look like at nighttime, or, you know, during the day as it transitions.
Yeah, I mean, this is so believable, right? It just takes you right there, makes you want to move to Jersey Shore.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we can even show that for the backyard. And in this project, I think that was a swimming pool, right?
Not for this one. For the he has 2 houses,
That's
and the
right.
other one did have We did a back porch view that looked into the bay. And we put our sailboats and we did the whole thing. And it was really pretty.
Yeah. So when they like almost like outdoor living and having evening and lights on, I think that's really cool.
Mm-hmm. And we can do the same with different times of the year. So it's not just changing the time of the day. And I think inside the house, it also works really well. So when you're standing inside the house and you can see, say the 24 hours go by, and it answers a lot of questions with like, do I need to add an extra window? What's my house going to look like, with the relation to east, west, whatever I'm located. So those types of things can really answer those questions. And then, with the time of the year, you can go from summer to fall, spring, winter, and show your home in all the different seasons. So you can do some really creative marketing with this, I think.
Yeah. And I mean, most of our projects are maybe in the South or actually it's across the country, but when we have projects that are very unique in the mountains, when there may be snow, we can even show it, right? With snow on the ground, and in the summer, and it's just nice and green, and in winter, it's snow. So when you're building a resort, you need to show those, seasonality in the climates.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about making me believe. So this one is a Google Street View.
Right. So this is a lot like the streetscape scene, but what's unique about this is that, when we have projects that are in infill lots, typically in a city, or is already around existing neighborhoods, we can actually add your project right into that lot. But the rest of it, the information, as you can see, like this white building here, that's actually from Google Streets View. So we added that brick building, and then we use Google Street View so that the people who are gonna, maybe interested in this property knows what's around it. So the Google Street View allows us to put the virtual tours right inside the scene, and then you can walk down the street and see, hey, what's around this neighborhood, So for city project, this is really useful.
Mm-hmm. And for out of town buyers, this is great to be able to explore what's around. Do I feel comfortable in this neighborhood?
Exactly. I mean, it's these panos are from Google, so being able to take our 3D model and literally put it into that space, it's 100% real. You see what it is.
Mm-hmm. All right, so this one is my favorite, live guided tours. So you guys know, most of the time when you think about virtual tour, it's on your website, the customer comes in, discovers virtual tour that they go in. Well, we've just added a live feature where you as a sales representative can take your customer on a journey with you on a live guided tour. So essentially, it's just like you would greet your customers in the model home, in a physical model home, and take them through the home and tell them about the best parts of the home. Well, this feature allows you to do the same thing virtually. So you can schedule your tour, you can take entire groups. And what I love about this, and when I first heard about it, I was like, well, how's it different than Zoom? But it's really different than Zoom, because Zoom doesn't allow participants in a virtual tour to explore on their own, right? In the Zoom, it's like everyone sees what you see. But what this allows you to do is you can take them on the tour first, and then let them go explore on their own. So maybe kids can run into the kids' room and check out what's going on there, while the parents are hanging out in the kitchen. And meanwhile, the sales representative can hear all the conversations that are taking place. He can see what they're looking at. So then, at the end of this, you can all reconvene by the pool in your virtual community and discuss, answer questions. So when our team tried this out, we were literally all laughing so hard, because this was just fun experience. Like it adds this social layer to this that you wouldn't get with Zoom. And I absolutely love this. I think especially when people are afraid of technology, like this is the kind of stuff that really allows you to be part of the customer journey using technology, meet them where they are, And, instead of just them doing it on their own, you're the expert, you guide them. So you guys, I'm sure you have a lot to say about this one. This was such a great idea, whoever came up with it.
We can't take the credit, but it's a great product and a great feature. I think this is really fun. And even back in COVID, it was really relevant. And now we're kind of maybe post-COVID, but this is still relevant. And it really allows us to all kind of, like you're saying, tap into the tour at our own pace. But the tour guide can kind of pull us all in and tie us all in and say, hey, watch where I'm at. Let me show you this. So I know I like to kind of wander on my own pace. I like to straggle and look at something when I go to the museum. But when the docent speaks, I want to hear it, right? I want to be say, oh, what are you talking right now? So I want to, this tool has that ability. In Zoom, in Google Meet, when you are just watching a screen, you're now, it's kind of passive because you're just watching someone lead. In this live guided tour, I can go my own way, and then someone can kind of bring me back to the fold very gently and say, hey, look at this, and I'm right there. And we have two, and this is something we're really introducing, and it's going to be more popular. This is free. It's part of just our virtual tour, where it's free. And then we also have a pro version where it's just a little bit more features and a little bit more secure, just to make sure it works. A lot of times there's a lot of technology behind with firewalls. So we're trying to build this service up, but right now it's something that's just part of our tour.
Mm-hmm. Which is cool. So basically you guys can make this virtual tour anything you want. So you can add all those features that we talked about and make it live on top of it. So yeah, I think it's just a great opportunity for you to meet your customers where they are, yet give them that independence to navigate on their own and still be a proactive participant, not just passive observer. Jessica, anything to say about this one?
When we've been testing it out, doing a couple of sessions or whatever, it is actually really fun to be able to talk to each other and go explore on our own and be like, hey, I'm in the dining room, come check out this, or hey, come look at the bathroom. And they were like, and like someone else would be like, well, how do I get to the bathroom? So then you're trying to help guide them, while you're exploring this whole space. And it's kind of like you're on your own, but you're together on your own.
So you can be sitting, yeah, absolutely. You can be sitting across the country, like say parents, how parents always want to give their 2 cents on the kids' choices. Exactly. You can have the whole family participating, and especially if you had choices of selecting the different options, so you can take them through and they can decide like, oh, what options do we want, and discuss that live. So I love this feature.
Yes. And one of the great features about it also is the realtor, the developer, or whomever's guiding the tour. If at any point they want everybody to come back to one space, they can click a button and everybody's screens switch back to one particular point, just to bring everybody back together. You're like, hey, okay, come back to the living room. Let's one look at this or something.
Reel them in.
Reel them in, yes.
For sure.
And for builders and for marketing sales folks, there's actually many different ways to use this. So what we can do is so that we can create like a Saturday open house. There's a 1 o'clock session and everyone starts there. And then if you come after 1 o'clock, the next one starts at 1:15. And so you may have 2 realtors or 3 or 4 realtors sort of taking on groups every 15 minutes. Or you can set it up so that you have a group just for maybe English speakers and one for Spanish speakers, so that just it cuts, caters to different type of people, right? Whatever their needs are. So, or on sales consultant A will have a certain channel. And then if you are familiar with online sales consultant B, then you go to that door or go to that tour. So yeah, you can set it up in different ways so that multiple tours, same tour, but multiple groups can go online at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, you can just go on social media on Friday night and say, hey guys, join me for a live virtual tour on Saturday at 1 o'clock. Right? You don't have to drive anywhere. And it's not a passive tour. Again, it feels like we're in person, but we're not. And another idea would be is to invite, say, chef, for example, if you have a high-end kitchen, and have them almost quote unquote like demonstrate or talk about the appliances or how this can be used. Or if you have an interior designer, you can bring them in as the guest speaker and talk about maybe what's trending, different finishes. Again, goes back to options. So there's a lot of different application potential for this, for sure.
Yeah.
And all about social. So, and the last one is the gamification. So we talked a lot about involving your audience and not making it just a passive tour. So you can make fun little games. So for example, for the 4th of July, we created a patriotic house where basically you go through the home and you're tasked with finding 10 different items related to our great nation. And so as you click on it, you're finding them, it gives you credit. You can also incentivize people to go through this, maybe give them, say, if you find all 10 items, you get credit towards options or whatever else. But again, I think, I don't know if it's just me being super competitive by nature, but when I see something like this, I want to go through and make sure I find all 10. So I don't know about you guys.
Right. Like I said earlier about how virtual tours has to be a lot more than just looking and walking around. And I think sometimes even as home buyers or whatever we're shopping, we get a little fatigued. Right? We're just seeing the same thing. Even watching Netflix at home, we just get, it's like, oh, I'm tired of everything. I watch 10 minutes and I switch to something else. So we really need to find ways to continuously engage the home buyer. And these games or gamification, right? It's really one way to keep them connected. So how do we make sure or help the home buyer actually go through the whole house, right? Because they may just walk around the living room, the kitchen and dining room, maybe walk into the owner's suite and say, oh, I'm done. But hey, you didn't see the basement, or you didn't see, the game room and the bonus room. So how do we kind of engage them continuously and reward them? Giving them information is one thing. They have to be self-motivated, ready, right? So I want to learn about everything. But what happens if they're not that motivated? So I think that's why we need to have games. We need to have a little bit of, treats. So it's fun. They go there, oh yeah, let me look for this. And oh yeah, this is cool, right? So I think in the patriotic one, we have some nice quotes, some funny things, and we may have some other things. But for builders, we can make it so that you may have a reward for someone who gone through the tours, because we can actually keep scores and they can log in and say, I finished the game. And you may offer like a $500 upgrade, coupon or something, right? So there are ways for you as a builder to make sure the potential home buyers are engaged with these virtual tours. They're falling in love with your product. They're spending minutes, hours thinking about your product, and then you reward them. So that's really where it's not just a game in itself, but it can be tied into some reality and some real reward.
Yeah, absolutely. This one is the egg hunt for Easter. So it's pretty cool. All right. So let's see. It looks like can you email out a cost menu for the development presentation today and development time needed? So Jared, I'll send you information so you'll be able to connect with Steven afterwards, and yes, he can get that over to you. So before we wrap things up, I wanted to see what's coming up next. So I know even since the last time Steven and I had chatted, there's been new features, and it seems like we're constantly coming up with new features. So what are you guys are working on? What should we be keeping an eye out for? What's to come?
All right, so we've been creating virtual tours, and we've been talking about the inside, the outside. A lot of it has to do with the content of what's being built digitally or virtually. But we spend a lot of time thinking about the user experience, the user input, right? So the UI and the UX. So our next version, and we always work on the next version in the roadmap, is that we really want to focus the whole experience and really make sure it's really robust for the mobile users. We spend a lot of time, and I see data creeping up higher and higher, where we're spending more and more time on the mobile. So what that means is that, and when we are using our phones, a mobile, we're inherently using it portrait mode. We're not holding our phones two hands and trying to navigate. We're really just doing one thumb or doing something like this. So we're really trying to redesign our virtual tour so that it's really portrait mode, mobile friendly. So you don't have to say, wow, this is really cool, but I don't get it. It's not working. Let me go home or let me go on the desktop. That's very disruptive. No one wants that. When we watch videos now on Facebook, we just watch it portrait. We don't even rotate it, see it full screen because we can't be bothered, right, with this. We just do like, oh, let me just watch this video. So I think in some way we need to respect that. I do that. We all do that. So we need to really respect that. That's how users are UI. That's their UX too. Another neat little feature we're going to add is allow people to take snapshots. We haven't even told you that, Anya, but yeah, you can walk around the house and take photos of your favorite rooms or your angles or scenes. You can save those images. You can then go back and ask your realtor or your online sales consultant, say, hey, tell me more about this room, or you can share your favorites. You can even save up color schemes or whatever room design you do and save them out as images. So that's going to be a neat feature we're going to add. There'll be other things, but the whole UI is going to be improved. I think that's what we're trying to really spend time on.
Very cool. And I know you guys are always working hard to improve our products, and I'm really, really excited to see what you do next. So as I promised, you guys stuck with us till the end of this webinar. So who wants to go with us to Jeff Shore's Leadership Summit? We have one last ticket left to give away. So if you are in a leadership position, you want to come, tell us. Okay, Beth, let's see. Beth wants to go. Your biggest fans. I know you are one of our biggest fans. Let's see here. Marketing portal. All right, what do you guys think? It sounds like Beth beat everyone to the punch. She was ready to go. Beth, you're coming with us. So I'll connect with you after the call and we'll give you all the details. So woohoo, Beth is coming to party with Team and you go. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today. I really, really appreciate your time. The webinar was recorded, so I will be sure to get it out very shortly. It's going to be available as a podcast replay as well as on our website. So check it out later today. And obviously feel free to share with anybody from your team that you think would find value in this. And we're always taking suggestions for what topics you want us to explore next. So please feel free to email me and let me know what topic we should tackle next. I know August 10th, we're going to be doing a New Go Insight. So we're going to tell you all about the latest trends and what we see with hundreds of our builder clients across the United States, because we can really see a lot of the fingerprints of what particular clients are doing when they're designing homes, what time of the day. So we'll talk about those trends to give you an idea for how to best utilize your resources to get everyone's attention. So thank you guys so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.